Greg Pollock here at Sunnyside Chevrolet, and I want to talk to you a little bit about my 68 Camaro. I have owned this car personally since I think 02 or 03. I bought it when I was on a trip to Florida with my wife and my daughter. I said when I bought this car back then that when I found a better one and I found one with more equipment, and I was going to buy it. Well, it's 2020 and I still haven't found one that's better or with more equipment, so I still have the car. But life changes and it's time for me to move on to something a little bit different. I want to talk to you a little bit about the car. I'm going to tell you everything that I know about it. It's a very highly equipped car, and one of the reasons I bought this car was because of the GM Canada documentation. It's very hard in these cars to know what they were born as without some kind of documents. When this car went to Canada as the car show car in 1968, they kept all of those records, and I have a copy of those records. And one of the things that's interesting about it, and certainly struck my curiosity about this car, was the number of options. There were only about 1,700 Camaros equipped with fiber optics. This was a Corvette option. Hideaway headlights is part of the RS package. 396, 350 horse, 4-speed car. It is the original heads, the original intake, the original carburetors, the original manifolds. It is a 1969 block with the correct MX coating on it for 350 horse. Don't know where the original block is, never worried about it, never mattered to me. There's a lot of guys out there that would take this car because it has the original numbers matching trans in it and all the ancillaries on the engine, and they'd get a block stamped and put it in there. That's the next owner's choice. I didn't care about it. It didn't mean anything to me. I love the car exactly as it was. Red striped tires. I've got bias pipe tires on it. I like it just the way it is. This car was painted years before I got it in 03, and it still holds a nice shine. Are there minor imperfections in the paint? Absolutely. This is not a fresh restoration. This is kind of a mix of a one repaint survivor. The interior in this car is 100% original. The chrome is original on the car. Is it a little tired in some spots? Sure. But it's such a wonderful car with such a good soul that I never wanted to do anything to it. You're not going to find any issues down low in this car. The car has been very well cared for its entire life, and everything's good on it. You know, there's just nice solid, it's just nice and solid all the way through. The bottoms of the doors are good, they've never been rusty. I know for a fact that there's two very, very minor patches that were done on this car because I did them. When I got this car, there was just a little bit of rust down in this corner and the other corner on the other side. I had them cut out, I had metal put in there, and then I had this quarter painted and blended. We didn't paint the whole car. As we walk around, you can see the reflection in the side of the car. The car holds a nice shine. It's a good quality coat of paint. Bumper guards were an option on this car. The spoiler was an option on this car. Power top was an option on this car. When we get inside, you're going to find power windows, which is an option. Power steering, power brakes. The car's got a full console in it, which is unusual for this car. Okay? It is a true SS car. Since day one. This is the deluxe interior that they put in the 68 Camaro. This was not a base model interior, and it is the original interior. I'm almost positive the carpeting is original as well. I can't swear to that. I've never investigated it that heavily. Door panels are original. You're going to notice in the center of that console, that's called a green dot stereo. An upgrade, and it's listed on the GM Canada paperwork, an upgrade. The radio does not work in this car. It hasn't worked in this car for years. Again, something I never really cared about. What else in terms of options? That's about it that I can think of. There's a lot on the paperwork. I think the last time I looked at the paperwork, there's probably about 22 options, 18 options. I can't remember what it was. Originally a butternut yellow car, like I said. I believe this car had one repaint, but it was repainted so long ago that I don't even think about it.
Let's open the hood.
Okay, we're talking about the engine compartment on this car. I just popped the hood real quick. It is tidy, it is clean, but it is not ground up restored yesterday. It's the original hood mat on this, on the Camaro. I never had the heart to take it off, because if you put a fresh one on, that's great, it looks great, but again, what I loved about this car was how much originality there was. I am signing off on this car as 50-some thousand original miles. I was told they were original miles when I got it. I believe them to be correct. Again, most of the stuff in this engine compartment is original, and certainly the trim tag on the firewall is absolutely pristine, and just as General Motors put it in 1968.
give it a ride. And we're go.
Okay, so we're just going to pull out on the road, first gear. She's not really warmed up, but we'll take her for a quick spin. And before you know it, she got 70 miles an hour.
Nice.
Just the way it's supposed to drive. I had the brake sponsor. The car stops perfectly straight. There's no issues with the brakes. There's no issues with the trans. Car's a beautiful running and driving car. It's got the right sound. Just does everything the way it's supposed to do. Really just needs somebody to love it. I haven't driven the car much in the last few years. I just haven't had the opportunity to get out and take it for a ride.